Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the race review from ISM, the Blue-Green Vacations 500, the last race of the round of 8 and the final race before the championship race at Homestead, the penultimate race of the season from ISM. First of all, I want to apologize for not having the review up earlier tonight. I was very busy this evening with my dad, going out to eat with my father. And then I worked till 5 o'clock, so even if this review have been out a lot later anyways than original. So, let's go ahead and get into the review. Another coughing fit's probably expected to be happening. So, here we go. So, let's get into the review. So, from the get-go, it looked to me like Kyle Busch, from the start, had a really strong car. He took the lead at the beginning of the race and dominated the first 69 laps. First caution of the race would come out for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse had issue with his car. I don't know if something broke in the valve train. It had caused the car to get broken, and Stenhouse went a couple laps on. He still continued, but he brought out the first caution of the race. On the restart of the race, Denny Hamlin was able to get the lead away, and Hamlin basically was able to win stage number 1. So, the top 10 results. Denny Hamlin won stage 1. Chase Elliott finished as 2nd. Kyle Busch 3rd. Joey Logano 4th. Kyle Larson 5th. Brad Keselowski 6th. Ryan Blaney 7th. William Byron 8th. 9th was Harvick. And 10th was Kurt Busch. One thing you probably notice here is that all the playoff drivers were doing really good in this race. I'm pretty sure at this point, top 10 were all playoff drivers. So yeah, the playoff drivers were very strong. Okay, 1 second. Went back racing on the restart, and Joey Logano, Hamlin did not get a very good restart. Hamlin just seemed like car just did not get going. It did not really launch, and he got jumped, and Hamlin fell back to 5th. Meanwhile, Joey Logano was able to pass Chase Elliott on the backstretch ISM, and he was able to pass to take the race lead, and he pretty much dominated from the get-go. Meanwhile, behind him, Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin are battling back and forth. Their battle was incredible, and Hamlin had to come back up from dropping back as far as 5th or 6th, all the way to 2nd, and Denny Hamlin just drove his way through and got up to 3rd. He could not get by Chase Elliott, but while they were doing that, they were actually catching Logano. It seemed like Logano's car was kind of falling off on the long run, and Chase and Hamlin were kind of gaining on him. You know, you could tell that Logano's car was not in the right position. And then Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott had a pretty good battle, and Hamlin was able to pass pass Chase Elliott, but in the end, Joey Logano was able to win stage 2. Denny Hamlin 2nd, Chase Elliott 3rd, Kyle Busch 4th, Ryan Blaney 5th, Martin Truex Jr. 6th, 7th was Kevin Harvick, 8th Kyle Larson, 9th was Brad Keselowski, and 10th was Kurt Busch. We went back racing on lap 160, and on the restart, Joey Logano was able to get the race lead and pull away. Unfortunately, the caution would come out, and one of the playoff contenders, Chase Elliott, would run into trouble. Chase Elliott would spin out and basically destroy the back of his car. Unfortunately for Chase Elliott, this would take him out of the contention for the race, and he unfortunately would be eliminated from the playoffs. Went back racing on lap 174, and Logano was able to get the race lead, and then Denny Hamlin, a few laps later, was able to pass him, and Hamlin pulled away to a huge lead. I think he got up to like a 7 or 8, like a 10 or 11 second lead, pretty much from this point. Hamlin just took off and was like half a lap ahead of Kyle Busch. Meanwhile, Logano just basically took a nosedive to the back. He basically fell off a cliff from being the fastest car in this race. Basically fell all the way back to like 13th or something like that and went a lap down. His car was just not very good at the time. I don't know what happened to the car, but Logano just basically fell all the way back outside the top 10. Basically, he was going to need a miracle to get back into this race. A miracle would happen. Unfortunately, not for him. Unfortunately, Logano's opportunity would be gone because he ended up putting Denny Hamlin basically ended up putting Eric Jones a lap down. With 9 laps to go in the race, the caution will come out. So David Ragan basically became slow on the front stretch, and then John or Nemechek I don't know what happened in Nemechek. He got into the wall and brought out the caution with 9 laps to go. This set up some strategy on pit road. And Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney decided to take 2 tires while the rest of the lead lap cars, which are like 6 or 7, decided to take 4 tires. In my honest opinion, I thought this was going to screw Hamlin over and screw him out of a championship run. However, on the restart, Denny Hamlin got a very good restart, one of the best restarts he had all day. Hamlin was not very good on restarts. But at the end of the day, this restart, Hamlin was able to pull away from Kyle Busch, and coming off the final corner, Denny Hamlin is able to hold off Kyle Busch, and he is able to score his 6th win of the season, his second or third win of the playoffs, and Denny Hamlin locks himself into the championship 4 at Homestead Miami Speedway. So, now let's go through the results. So, Denny Hamlin won, pretty much had the best car in this field. No ifs and buts about it. 143 laps, pull out like a 10 to 12 second lead before that caution came out. And Denny Hamlin basically won the race. Kyle Busch finishes 2nd. Strong run. Definitely a run that he needs to have. He's been kind of off in these playoffs. Another solid run for Kyle Busch. 2nd place. Great run for him. Ryan Blaney, very, very strong run for Ryan Blaney, but just unfortunately not enough to go to Homestead. Kyle Larson, another really good run, 4th place. Unfortunately, did not have enough to go to Homestead, but great run for Larson. Larson basically ran 5th to 7th all day. He got 4th. Good run for Larson. Kevin Harvick, solid 5th place, but not a good enough for ISM, in my opinion. Ever since they reconfigured, Harvick's not been the same that he used to be. Still 5th place run, though. Pretty good run, and I don't think there was focused much on this race since they were already locked into the championship race at Homestead. Mark Truex Jr. got a 6th place run, solid run. No one really important in that team was there. So 6th place goes to Mark Truex Jr. Eric Jones, 7th, strong run for Eric Jones. 8th, Clint Boyer, another solid run for Clint. Logano finished 9th. Logano just was still able to finish on the lead lap, but 9th place, not a great run for Logano. Logano basically struggled at the end of the day. They were so strong at the beginning of this race, and they just fell off. Keselowski, apparently he lost a cylinder. He still came home with a 10th place finish. That's impressive right there. Kurt Busch got 11th. 12th was Paul Menard. 13th, Matt Benedetto. 14th, Jimmy Johnson. 15th, Daniel Suarez. 16th, Chris Buescher. 17th, William Byron. 18th, Brian Newman. 19th, Ricketts Stenhouse Jr. And Ty Dillon rounds out the top 20. 21st, Daniel Hemmer. 22nd, Eric Almirola. 23rd, Alex Bowman. 24th, Austin Dillon. 25th, Bubba Wallace. 26th goes to Ryan Preece. 27th, John Hunter Nemechek. 28th, Ross Chastain. 29th, J.J. Yeley. 30th, Michael McDowell. 31st, Garrett Smithley. 32nd, Bailey Curry. 33rd, Landon Castle. 34th, Joe Nemechek. 35th, Corey LaJoie. 36th, David Reagan. 37th, Reed Sorensen. 30th, Joey Gase. And finishing last place, Chase Elliott. So, let's talk about the Final 4. So, the Final 4 is going to be Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick will be fighting for a championship at Homestead next Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on NBC. We're going to find out which one of these 4 drivers is going to go for this championship at ISM. You know who my pick is, who I think is going to win this championship. I think the guy who won the race today is going to win this championship. We'll talk about the Final 4. We'll talk about the Final 4 predictions and get you more on why I think this guy is gonna win. But I'm very, very excited for this week. I'm so excited for this week. You have no idea. But now let's get into my opinion of the race. I'm gonna say this race is kind of disappointing. It wasn't a terrible, terrible, terrible race. The start of the race was strong. Beginning of the first stage, I think it was the strongest point of this race. The PJ1 grip definitely helped the racing in the beginning. Apparently, they didn't put any extra PJ1 grip. I think it affected the end of this race. So I think that it wore off as the day went on because not as many people were using that PJ1 grip. I don't think it was affecting the race as much, to say it the least. But Hamlin did the best with that, and I think that's what won in the race. He used that PJ1 grip to his advantage. But at the end of the day, Hamlin pulled out to 11, 12-second lead, and like before the caution, there were like 6 or 7 cars that finished on the lead lap, and just the race kind of, in my opinion, kind of got boring at the second half of this race. I thought the first half was the best part of this race, to be quite honest with you. I'm gonna give this race, to be honest with you, a 6 out of 10. It wasn't great. It was not that great of a race. I'm not gonna remember this race. It's probably gonna possibly be in the 10 worst races, maybe for me, at the end of the year. They got one thing they gotta do. Can we please get rid of the freaking tall spoiler at these mile tracks? I think it's what ruined in this race. I know it's hard to pass here, and I get it. ISM is a very difficult track to pass, which is why the PJ1 grip was used. But with that huge spoiler, it affects the air, and the air package just affects it. I think the air package had a lot of effect on this race, and it clearly did in the second half. So unfortunately, this race gets a 6 out of 10 in my opinion. So that is going to be the race from ISM and the race review from ISM. There's only one race left, and it's the championship race at Homestead. We're going to find out who wins the championship. Will be for the first time at Homestead, see a driver who wins the race not be your champion. We're going to find out at Homestead. So that is going to be it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you get notified if a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social medias. Links in the description below for that. And comment below your opinions of the race. What did you think of the race? Let me know below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.